Greetings and welcome to Pinball Help. Mike here. Work is continuing on this Gottlieb Haunted House, and I want to fill you in on my progress and what my plans are with this. So I have started to dive into the game, and as you can see, somebody has completely mangled one of the connectors here. So I've done some research and been reading up on what it is that they have messed with and what my approach is going to be to this. So let me show you how I went about this. So this connector over here that has been completely janked is connector A1J6. Connects onto the MPU board up above, and what this is this is actually the switch matrix. So one nice thing about this janked up connector is that it's not actually holding a whole bunch of high voltage lines to it. So if the connectors are off, the wires are off, all it's really going to do is cause problems in the switch matrix. Things are not going to register where they should. It would make the game completely not very well playable, but it won't blow things up, so that's kind of a good thing. So after going through that, and I was going through the schematics here showing the switch matrix and which lines, rows, and columns in the switch matrix end up at which connections. So that connector is A1J6, and it's got pins 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the rows. The columns are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and then there's a 17 there. So those are the columns. And you'll see a little number next to each thing, like 411, 422, and that indicates the color of the wiring. So if we look at pin 1, it says 400, and then right over here is a little key. 4 is yellow, 0 is black. So this is going to be yellow, black, black. If usually there's just two colors, so it's going to be the first two yellow and with a black stripe. So I can go over to, what I've done is I've go over to each of these wires on the connector, and they've been extended with an intermediate wire that's certainly not the right color. So I have to follow every wire all the way back to its original wire coming out of the harness here and confirm the color. You'll see all these purple pieces of tape there. Now what I've done with those purple pieces of tape is I've confirmed that the wiring to the connector matches the wiring in the schematics. I have discovered that some of the wiring appears to be off. Now just looking at this connector, I could kind of tell we were going to have some problems. It's not the right kind of connector. This is the right kind of connector that you want to use. Let me see. And you can see it's got little registration things on it. So there's like 4 pins, 3 pins, 4 pins, 4 pins, 4 pins. So you can't insert it the wrong way. So this is the proper connector. These are the proper pins for it. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to make an actual proper connector. But in the process of doing that, I'm going to let me see if these are the pins. There's the connector. I'm gonna double and triple check everything because I'm pretty sure whoever put this together did not line up the switch matrix properly. So it's going to be a very tedious process, but luckily I don't think it's going to be too difficult because the schematics seem to line up with the wiring here. I was thinking I might need to ask, for some other people's pictures of this connector, but everything does seem to line up. I will still probably do some research and double and triple check things, because whenever you repin one of these big connectors, it's just so easy to accidentally put the wire in the wrong place, and then it just causes another headache of trying to track it down. But that's where we're at. So with that in mind, we should be able to fire this thing up with or without the switch matrix plugged in. So let's fire the thing up because I've got the power supply all rebuilt and everything. So let's just see what's going to happen here, shall we? So I've got it plugged in. I'm going to turn the power on. I'm going to keep this unplugged because it doesn't really matter. We're not going to play the game right now. We're going to just see whether or not the existing board set in the game is actually working. So let's turn the ambient light down a little bit and turn the game on. Alright. So we get GI, the GI is popping up. We do have, there we go, we got displays, and you can see in attract mode. So the game has booted up. All the new LEDs seem to be looking nicely. Now I'm not familiar with this game, so I don't know if this is normal. You see the way the lights up top are clicking on and off? There's obviously some kind of relay that's turning that section of the GI on and off. Is that normal? It kind of looks like it might be. Can you hear that relay? I guess it's somewhere up underneath here. So most of the displays are all working. I don't even know how many balls are supposed to be in this machine. I assume it's a single ball. I don't see any facility to be multi-ball. I don't think this era of Gottlieb's had many multi-balls going, which is crazy, because can you imagine a multi-ball with 3 different play fields? That'd be wacky. So it does appear to be working, and it looks quite nice. I like the LEDs. Looking up at the back box, you can see I put warm LEDs in most areas, and I'm actually thinking maybe I should put some cool LEDs, because those look like lightning strikes, and I think those should probably be cool rather than warm. There's one warm LED over there, but all the rest are cool. So I don't know. We'll check it out. And you can see I've got the blinky LEDs there too. The ones on the bottom are cool. The ones on the top are warm, and they look pretty nice. I'm gonna have to dig out the back glass and see how it looks. We've got a few little glitches with some of the displays. Now I'm going to replace this with an all-new MPU board, so maybe it really won't matter. I'm going to replace the soundboard and the MPU board. But we got the game booted up. I'm still going to have to deal with this mess of the switch matrix, which hopefully won't cause us too many problems. But I think what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to redo the connector and hope I don't screw it up. Just depends on, you know, how distracted I am when I'm doing it. It's so easy to miss those wires, but you just got to be diligent. And I've got my connectors there, and luckily I've got the proper thing. I got this a long time ago. Right now, these are very, very hard to get. This is a 19-pin edge connector. They are not, I don't know if you can find them anywhere online right now, but luckily many years ago my first pinball machine was a Genie, and I repinned all the connectors, so I bought a bunch of these. So I have several of these, which really is one of those scenarios where it's, you know, pay a little bit more and get some extras, definitely paying off. So you see I've actually marked the pins on the connector. So I'll end up repinning the connector, and we'll take it from there. So stay tuned for the next installment where we actually get the connectors repinned and start to play around with putting some new boards in here and seeing whether we can actually get this thing playing. Obviously though, this MPU board does work and does boot, so it's a good MPU board. I don't know if there's any advantage to using this over the new one, but I've got this new Swemmer board. I don't have another System 80 that I would use it in, and I think, you know, I'm going to put the new board in here and see if it offers any additional functionality. I will give you a review of that very soon, so stay tuned for the next video, and until then, thanks for watching.